When Python encounters an error in your code, it will print out a traceback. Let's talk about how to use tracebacks to fix our code. This program is supposed to accept a number and print out all the numbers up to and including that number. But this code is broken. When we run it, it prints out a traceback. When Python encounters an exception that isn't handled in your code, it will print out a traceback. Tracebacks are supposed to be read from the bottom upward. The very last line in a traceback is the first line that you're supposed to read. That last line describes the type of exception that occurred, and it shows us an error message that's supposed to explain what happened. Now, that error message can sometimes be a little bit cryptic, but it's typically better than nothing. After that last line, we're supposed to read the 2 lines above that, and then the 2 lines above that, and so on. We read tracebacks from the bottom upward. The 2 lines above that last one describe where we actually were in our code when the exception occurred. So we were in count.py on line 4 in the count2 function, and this is the actual line of code, line 4, in that file. So Python uses something called a call stack to keep track of where you are in your Python process at any one time and where you're supposed to go to when you return from a function, and then where that function is supposed to return to. So this down here describes the call stack. It describes where Python actually was in our process when the exception occurred. Each of these sets of 2 lines are called stack frames. You can think of them as levels of depth in our code. This is the deepest level we were at, and this is the furthest level out from where that exception occurred. So line 4 is where the exception actually occurred. This might be our code, or it might be some other code. It might be some module we didn't even write. So we need to keep reading up our traceback to see the line that we actually want to fix our error on. Now, I happen to know that what this error means is that Python tried to use the plus operator between a string and an integer, and that's not allowed. So on line 4 is where that occurred, number plus 1. So number must be a string. Now, we probably shouldn't convert it to an integer in this function because this function isn't supposed to accept strings. So we should go up to the next frame in our call stack here to line 9. This is where we might want to fix the error. So the line just above this one, this is our string, and we should convert it to a number. So this command line argument coming in, let's convert it to a number, and this should fix the bug in our code. And it does. We've just fixed the bug. Tracebacks happen all the time. They're just part of the process of writing Python code. Whenever Python encounters an error in your code, an unhandled exception, it'll print out a traceback. Remember, traceback should be read from the bottom upward. The last line tells you the exception that occurred, and a hopefully helpful error message. That's the line you might want to type into your favorite search engine to figure out what might be going on. And then the 2 lines above that tell you what line the exception actually occurred on. And then from there, each set of 2 lines describes the next level of depth in our code. So read your tracebacks from the bottom upward.